In the last lesson, I showed you the 5 chord, which I think we were doing in B last time. Put the finger on the 6th string at the 7th fret, it's a B, and put your 3rd finger, next string, 2 frets up. That's a 5 chord. That's a B5. Now that position will let you make 30, possibly 45 chords, just depending on how much access you have on your neck. This lesson, I want to show you a few patterns to apply that one shape, and it will give you the backbone of most any song of any style music that you like listening to. Most of the time, the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th chord are going to be the majority of the song. There'll be some other stuff in there, but the 1, the 4, and the 5 are the most important chords. And let me explain that like this. Let's do it in the key of C, because that'll eliminate sharps and flats. In the key of C, you got C would be 1, D would be 2, C, D, E, F, and G. Okay? So C will be 1. That will be the most important and probably the most played chord. 2 and 3, which D and E, those will be minors, but you may play them some, but they're not so much. Okay? Then the 4th, which is a C, D, E, an F, and the G. Okay? That's the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th. Those will be the most important chords in most songs, especially if you're going to play something in blues, something like that. So to determine those, there's a couple of patterns that it took me a couple of years to piece this together and really note this happening over and over again. There's a couple of patterns I can show you that will help you find that out and learn songs quicker. Let me show you. This is a C, so this is a C5. And again, we're going to be working in that same one position that I showed you in the last lesson. So I'm just going to refer to, instead of C5, I'm going to refer to it as C. Okay? There's the C. That's the 1 chord. Now the 4th chord, if you move down 1 string, just shift that pattern down 1 string, there's your F. That'll be F5. And that's the number 4. Now if you move that up 2, there's the G. That's the 5th chord. Or don't get confused, the 5 chord with the 1st, 4th, and 5th. Okay, but that's the G, and that will be the 5th chord in the key of C. The 1, the 4, and the 5. So if we start with C, there's the 1, the 4, the 1. Then we go back to the 4. Go to the 5, to the 4, do something like that. But the blues will have the turnaround on the 11th bar. But the 1, 4, 5. You can play all kinds of songs like that. Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. You can play just about any song you can think of, and just in that position. The 1, there's your 4th, and the 5th. Now, an advantage to this, as opposed to the traditional where you're learning like that and playing, and then if you want to change keys, let's say now you're going to play with someone, but they can't sing quite in that. That's too low for them, and they need to pick it up. The traditional, what that is, they'll pop a capo right here and play their G chords up a little bit. But watch this. You don't need a capo. If they want to go higher instead of C, all you have to do is move your hand up here to D. Now we're playing in the key of D. Same shape for the chords. Same pattern for the 1, 4, 5. Let me show you. 4, say instead of C they wanted it down a couple. Let's move it back to A. It still works. Okay, you got that? It's kind of, if you play chess, kind of how the knight moves. You can move over and then up 2, or some people look at it as over 1 and up 2. So go over 1 and up 2. Alright, let me show you another pattern to approach that. I'm going to stay with key of C, again, just to eliminate sharps and flats. There's the 1, 4, 5. Alright, well, we can also come up to here. That's an octave. If you go, start with your C, and instead of putting finger there, if you there's another C. That's an octave. It's 12 notes higher. So we can start here, and that would be our 1. There's a C. Then if you go just the 1, if you want to go to the 4 is go up a string and down 2. Still the chess move, the knight move in chess. And then back up 2 for the 5. So you can start here like 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Or you can mix them up and go 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Okay, and just like that 5 chord that you can start here, or here, or here, on the 6th, 5th, and 4th string, you can use this pattern like this. The 1, you can start on the 6th string and move it to the 5th, like that, or you can start it on the 5th and go over to the 4th, and up, like that. Works either way. So will the other way. If you start here, then we're starting on the 4th string, go to the 5th string, or we can start, it's a different key, but you can start on the 5th string. And that's the 1, 4th, and 5th. And it doesn't really matter if you like rock, blues, country, Christian contemporary, jazz, just about anything you can think of. Usually that 1, 4, and 5 is the backbone of what you're going to play. There'll be some other chords to pick up and incorporate, but the 1, 4, and 5 will be the most important ones. And if you can learn those, there's 2 patterns. So now I've given you one shape to make a whole lot of chords. I've shown you 2 patterns to play the 1, 4, and 5. And if you'll start listening to some songs to try to find the key they're in, a lot of times when they're playing, you just kind of go up and down till you can pick out a chord or 2. And usually, if you can find the chord they're playing the most often, that is usually the key a song is in. And if you can find that, then a lot of times, you know, say you find it happens to be C, it sounds like C's in there an awful lot. It's probably in the key of C, but not necessarily. But if you can find that out, then give it a shot at the 1 and the 4 and the 5, and see if you don't have most of the chords that are going to be in that song. So that'll help you learn to play one much quicker. All right. Next lesson, I'm just going to show you how to apply some of what I've showed you in the last 3 lessons, and hope that that'll inspire you to keep working on it and stick with me, because I want to teach you how to do this. I want to shave years off your learning curve. Again, I spent years learning how to do this, and a lot of that time was wasted learning things I didn't need to know. So stick with me.